Hello, Muck Reviews here, and today I'm looking at Rocket League. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. So, released in 2015 for PC and PS4, 2016 for Xbox, this game has had a strong following for nearly 5 years now. The game is pretty simple in premise. It's essentially football or soccer, but you are playing in cars. The game lasts for 5 minutes and the highest scorer wins. A draw results in overtime, where it becomes next goal wins. The main game mode pitches teams of 1, 2, 3 or 4 against each other, boosting, jumping and exploding as they battle for victory. The domed arena allows you to speed the whole way around, climbing the walls and ceiling in pursuit of the ball. Boost power-ups are scattered in permanent spots across the map. Ones that fully recharge your bar dot the perimeter. There are no assigned positions so to speak of in the game, but there are roles that you'll have to get used to in order to win. Training mode reveals the two most prominent roles of striker and goalkeeper. Strikers attack and combine, taking shots at goal. Goalkeepers have to use their car to block these shots, boosting and jumping, sometimes spectacularly. Now the game is generally exceptionally frantic, the ball cannoning and bouncing all over the pitch as you and your opponents chase to gain control. Despite its simple layout, there is a surprising amount of depth to the gameplay. Different shots can be performed by approaching the ball differently, using different parts of the car to affect its trajectory, and understanding of angles and timing is needed to navigate the ball around the play space. Double tapping A will cause you to flip into a direction, powerfully shunting the ball that way, although it can be used defensively too, propelling yourself into positions to block shots. Driving straight into the ball usually results in a dinged chip shot, the height of which depends on your speed. Boost can also be used to fly through the air to intercept and reposition the ball before it hits the ground. Whilst this may seem quite simple, the reality is that there is a really nuanced and tactical game hiding within its basic setup. Tempting as it first may be to charge after the ball and smash it as hard as you can, it becomes apparent that doing this will usually lead to certain defeat. For a game where players speed around in cars, it often feels like you need to perform like twirling dancers, deftly placing shots, manoeuvring constantly to be in the right positions, and recognising patterns of play like performing a new routine. Teamwork is essential, and you need to make sure that you aren't just acting blindly as a lone wolf, but as part of a unit. Customization choices are wide and varied, with plenty of car models to choose from. These don't have any differences in terms of gameplay, however some cars fit the standard hitbox better, meaning that most players choose one of 3 or 4 models as it's easier to aim. Different colours can be applied to cars with different styles, along with additional types of tyres, car toppers and trails. You're bombarded with items to choose from as you level up, but additionally there is a battle pass feature, along with other ways to buy cosmetic items. Whilst these are only cosmetic, it is still frustrating to see paid for elements in an already paid for game. An unfortunate thing about approaching Rocket League as a beginner in 2020 is that it can be quite difficult to get a foothold in the game. Obviously, as the game has been out for so long, the majority of the player base are very skilled. You'll spend a lot of time getting battered to begin with, and there is not much you can do about it. Unranked online matchmaking, despite supposedly being more casual, will place you against vastly superior opponents often. The kind that just understand every facet of the game which you have no idea about. Ranked mode is similar. You have to play 10 matches in each individual playlist to get a ranking. This seemed quite a lot, forcing me for hours to play against players I had no right being placed against and being demoralisingly beaten down. Once you've done that, you do get a rank and begin to play people more around your level, but even then, the difference between players in the know and the players who aren't up to scratch yet is stark, often accompanied by a toxic amount of snide remarks via the quick chat system. The problem is there is no real system for learning how to play, aside from just subjecting yourself to it. Training mode helps with the controls, but does nothing to replicate how the game is actually played. Just the basic shot, save and aerial mechanics, but all uncontested. Playing offline with bots similarly doesn't feel anything like the patterns of online play. Not to mention the bots, particularly your own, are pretty awful even on the highest setting. That's not to say that offline isn't fun to play in of itself, just not great at preparing you for online. Ultimately, it comes down to your perseverance. You can't say a game is in any way bad because it's competitive and has a skill gap, but what you can say is the game could definitely have better ways of being more accessible to newcomers. Some will undoubtedly be put off. The arenas are vibrant, beautifully designed sets with joyful colours and active surroundings. They really do a lot with it when you consider that these are essentially just a series of domes. Each one has a brilliant amount of character, Mad Max-esque scenes, westerns, futuristic and underwater. There's so much variety. On top of the normal modes, there are also a great bunch of extra options. Options where the ball is replaced by an ice hockey puck or basketball, for example. These don't drastically change how the game works, but do give the matches a slightly different flavour. There are also modes that crank the action to 11, modes where power-ups are activated, with an assortment of brilliant abilities to smash against your opponents, and special limited time playlists like this one where the ball is extra bouncy and everyone has maximum boost permanently. In conclusion, Rocket League is a full-throttle game, relentlessly constant with its action, but underneath its chaos there is a tactical and purposeful game. It is lively and joyful, with crazy colours, themes and a great upbeat soundtrack. Whilst brilliantly fun playing competitively even games, in 2020 too often are the new players left playing opposition of a hugely different standard, which can suck a lot of the joy out of the game, when just touching the ball can feel like a victory, never mind scoring a goal. The game is repetitive, as most of the game is just a standard 5-minute mode, the only variant the number of players on each side. The game is easy to throw on and spend the odd hour in, but if you aren't compelled to spend the many hours needed to reach the higher tiers of play, you might wonder what all the fuss is about. I give Rocket League for Xbox One a 7.5 out of 10. Have you played this game? What did you think? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. See you later.